In 1891, a local murder made national news, putting Hordle in Hampshire in the spotlight for several months. The case in question was that of the Ewles family. The Ewles originated from Portsea in Hampshire in the mid-1800s. The father and head of the household was William Ewles. He was married to Sophia Agnes Ewles, and they also had two children, a daughter called Sophia and a son named John William. The family were quite well off and lived well, but eventually William became too ill to work. John was able to attend London University, where he studied geology. He was also awarded a scholarship to Christ's College at Cambridge, but due to ill health could not attend. By 1890 they were living at a house called The Bays in Cottagers Lane, Hordle. By this time William was bedridden and suffering severe mental health. He had attempted suicide on at least 2 occasions. William's wife Sophia took over the running of the household, but John was also suffering mental health problems. John's sister Sophia stated that he had succumbed to morose habits. He wouldn't leave the house in daylight, and when he went out in the evenings, he would carry a pistol which he fired in the street and in the garden. When John was well, he had a great relationship with his mother. However, his fits of depression would hit at infrequent times, and they would last for prolonged periods. He would show great contempt for his mother during these fits. Sophia had once tried to take the gun from John, but he had grabbed it back using force. Sophia and her mother had discussed placing John into an asylum, but her mother objected. John's behaviour had begun to deteriorate. One of the servants, Sophia Scrivener, stated that on one occasion John had broken the scullery door and thrown a clothes horse onto the fire. She was in fear of her life with John. On April the 27th, 1891, Sophia and her mother had come downstairs to breakfast about 8:30 a.m. John came down and sat alone at a small table. When Sophia and her mother left the dining room, they heard a loud crashing noise from inside. On entering the room, Sophia found the table John was sitting at overturned and the crockery smashed. Sophia went into the kitchen, where she heard her brother enter the scullery for water. Sophia left the kitchen and started to walk upstairs, when John grabbed hold of her and pulled her to the floor. He then produced his revolver and fired at her, hitting her in the shoulder. Sophia managed to drag herself into the drawing room. The pistol shot brought Sophia's mother into the drawing room to see what had happened. At this point, John fired 3 shots at his mother, who fell to the floor dead. John proceeded to sit at the piano and played for several minutes. The servants called the police and a doctor attended. The first to arrive was Dr. Edward Chinnery. He met the servants at the gate. After being informed of the situation, he spoke to John through the window. John invited him inside. Dr. Chinnery found John and spoke with him. He took possession of the weapon until the police arrived. He examined the mother's body and confirmed that she was dead. He then attended to the sister. Police Sergeant Nunn of Leamington Police Station was now in attendance. On questioning John, he stated that he had shot his mother 3 times and his sister once. He told the police that he knew this would lead to a hanging or the asylum. He told them that he would prefer to be hung. John was arrested and taken to Leamington Police Station. John Ewles pleaded guilty to the murder of his mother and wounding of his sister. At Winchester Assizes on the 6th of August 1891, he was found guilty and was ruled insane. He was sentenced to be held indefinitely in Broadmoor Secure Psychiatric Hospital, where he remained until his death in 1918. John's mother was buried in Hordle churchyard on the 6th of May 1891. John's sister never married. She moved to Portsmouth and lived in a boarding house for the rest of her days. The scene of the crime, the house named The Bays, was sold and renamed.